In today's watercolor lesson, we're going to be learning how to manage the water that you put down on your paper and in your watercolor. Today, we are going to be working on a Bob Ross inspired watercolor. This watercolor video, the full version of it, is going to be linked down below. It's on the YouTube channel, and it's also going to be available in the Google Classroom. We're going to start off the painting by putting down water on the paper and just putting it on the top half. We're then going to put down some blue and let the water bleed and blend the colors down into the paper. We're going to add a little bit more water to it to help it along, and then we're going to smooth it out with the brush to make a smooth transition. After we get done with that, we're going to add water to the bottom of the painting, and then we're going to add in a pond or a lake, doing the same method that we did previously, but this time the color is going to be starting at the bottom instead of at the top. In this part, I'm taking an old rag or a paper towel, and we're just dabbing up the color once the color is down but the water is still wet. That is going to be giving us the illusion of clouds without a whole lot of work. We're also going to be taking a dirty part of the rag, and we're going to be dabbing that down to add in the shadows on the bottom side of the cloud. Now you can do this at the exact same time that you create the clouds by soaking up the water, and it just makes it a lot easier. The next step, we're going to wait for the paper to dry, and then we're going to have a wet on dry where we're taking a very bold blue and just drawing in the tops of the mountains. This is going to be where the mountain meets the sky. Once we get a nice crisp line down with the wet on dry, we're then going to go in with a wet paintbrush, just with water, and we're going to drag the water down from the line to make a wet on wet to help blend it in. Once we have that, then we're going to take the rag again and pick up some of those colors to make the detail fog and possibly even some crevices in the mountains to make it look a little cleaner. The next step, we're going to be doing the exact same thing but on the other side of the paper, and we're going to be making another mountain that is a little bit closer to us. Now this part is nice because you can kind of let the water work on its own and do its own thing, and you're going to have crevices in the mountains that it makes and things like that, and it looks pretty cool. This is also a nice way for you to kind of experiment with the water and see how the water reacts to different things that you do. If you see some crevices in there that's forming, let it form and then build your colors around it. This is what makes every watercolor different. Then we're going to be mixing in some blue-green for the trees, and we're going to be adding some trees into the background. We're going to be getting different variations of colors in there so we have different colors to look at and it looks more realistic. And then we're going to be taking that same color that we've been mixing up, and we're going to be making some hills in the foreground as well. After that, I added in some brown around where the lake is going to be for some detail, for some muddy areas. And then we're going to be adding in some pebbles. Finally, we're adding in the greenery. The greenery is just going to be a mixture of the dark brown that we use for the mud, maybe a little bit of green and black. It really is whatever colors you want it to be. They're little thin, wispy lines, and the thinner you can make them, the better, and they're just stacked up and layered. After that, we're taking that exact same color, going back to the trees in the background, and then adding in some more trees on the left. And that is pretty much it. At this point, you have a completed artwork. Thank you all for watching. Obviously, this is going to take longer than 4 minutes like the video that we have right here, but the full video is linked in the description down below. It should take you around 30 minutes, hour, possibly 2 hours if you really want to dedicate some time to it, but it shouldn't be more than a 2-day project. Thank you all very much. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.